The Middle East is currently facing one of the most dangerous conflicts in recent years, as tensions between Iran, United States, and Israel continue to escalate. What started as airstrikes and military operations has now turned into a large-scale regional conflict involving missiles, drones, airstrikes, and naval forces. The conflict began in late February 2026 when the United States and Israel launched coordinated airstrikes on Iranian military bases, missile facilities, and nuclear-related sites. The goal of these attacks was to weaken Iran's military and nuclear capabilities. However, Iran responded strongly by launching ballistic missiles and drones toward Israeli targets and U.S. military bases in the Middle East. American Jewish Committee +1. Iran shoots down U.S. fighter jet. One of the biggest developments in this conflict was Iran's claim that it shot down a U.S. fighter jet during the war. According to Iranian sources, their air defense systems targeted an American F-15 fighter jet near the Iran border, and the aircraft crashed after being hit. The pilot reportedly ejected safely before the crash. Tasnim News.ir +1. However, U.S. officials denied some of these claims and said that not all reports were accurate, and some aircraft losses were due to other incidents such as friendly fire or emergency landings after damage. This information war between both sides is also a major part of this conflict, where both countries are trying to control the narrative and public opinion. YouTube. Recently, another report suggested that a U.S. F-35 fighter jet was hit by Iranian fire during a mission over Iran and had to make an emergency landing. This shows that Iran's air defense systems are still active and capable of hitting advanced aircraft. YouTube. Missile attacks and threats. The situation became more dangerous when Iran threatened to attack power plants and energy infrastructure in the Gulf region if the United States continued attacks on Iranian infrastructure. Iran also warned that it could keep the Strait of Hormuz closed, which is one of the most important oil routes in the world. If this happens, oil prices around the world could increase dramatically and create a global economic crisis. Reuters +1. At the same time, Iran launched missile attacks on Israeli targets, and Israel responded with more airstrikes inside Iran and also targeted Iranian-backed groups in other countries. This has turned the conflict into a regional war rather than just a conflict between two countries. Civilian damage and war situation. Reports say that thousands of people have been killed and many cities and buildings have been damaged in Iran due to airstrikes. Hospitals, schools, and infrastructure have also been damaged, and many people have fled major cities due to fear of bombings. The war is now affecting civilians heavily, and humanitarian organizations are warning about a major crisis if the war continues. The Guardian. Electricity shortages, fuel shortages, and rising prices are also affecting people in the region. Many countries are now calling for a ceasefire, but so far the fighting continues. Risk of a bigger war. Experts say that this conflict could turn into a much bigger war if more countries get involved. Countries in the Middle East are on high alert, and military forces have been deployed in the Gulf region, the Mediterranean Sea, and nearby areas. If this war continues, it could affect oil prices, global trade, and international security. Some analysts are even calling this the most dangerous global conflict situation in recent years. The situation between Iran, the United States, and Israel is still developing, and the world is watching closely. The coming weeks will be very important, as this conflict could either move toward peace talks or escalate into a much larger regional war.